G'day viewers. Well, in completely unsurprising news, the Abbott government has opened up a new front in the war on poor people. It's not a war on poverty like you might expect the government to do. Ooh, let's get rid of poverty. Let's make things better for everyone. No, they've kind of decided you're poor and unpleasant and we don't like you. We're going to blame you for everything, even though you've basically got nothing. We'll target all the bad things on you because you deserve it. Now, what they've actually done is decided to explore the idea that if you're on welfare, you won't actually get money. You'll just get a card that will tell you what you can and can't do. This is actually already in place in the Northern Territory and being trialled in some areas, something that not a lot of Australians actually know. But now they're floating the idea of making everyone use it. And when I say the government's floating the idea, what they've done is push out one of their proxies and said, yeah, go pretend it's your idea. And they're waiting to see what happens when he brings it up. And because they've kind of pissed off everyone in the country, they thought, if this is going to piss off everyone even more, maybe we should do it. Let's have him do it. In this case, the proxy is one of Australia's biggest mining magnates, Twiggy Forrest. And given that he's always seemed like one of the better and more sensible of the billionaires telling the government what to do, it's a little disturbing to hear him say, essentially, hey, Povo, here's how we're going to fuck you over for your own good and you'll enjoy it. And the Orwellian nature of his presentation was really quite creepy. I don't know how many times someone can say taking away all the rights to control your own life is freedom. But it appears like Twiggy and the Libs are keen to give as many people as possible as much freedom as they can jam down your fucking throat. The government might be using Twiggy as their proxy, but they're barely even concealing their plans. Abbott was standing right up there with him when he's making the presentation, and if you really couldn't tell they were behind it, the type of things they started saying straight afterwards don't leave you in a whole bunch of doubt. For instance, you had Abbott say this: some of these challenges go beyond what the government currently plans. But again, why shouldn't we be challenged to think about beyond what is currently doable? And then he says even more directly, we are working urgently on this visionary report to ensure as much of it as we can is implemented as quickly as we can. And then Hockey chimes in with, this report is bold, but it needs to win over community support, and I fully expect that over the coming weeks and months. In case you can't decipher that barely concealed code, what they're saying is, hell yes, this is what we want to do. We're just so scared that it's electoral poison, we're putting someone else out there to say it, and if it goes down like a lead balloon, we go, oh, we were never going to do that anyway. But if you suckers fall for it, it's going to be law before you can work out how fucking evil it actually is. The danger is, it can sound so seductively reasonable when you're not on the receiving end of it. Like they're saying, oh look, after all we're doing is taking those dole bludgers and stopping them from blowing the welfare payments, which come out of your taxes, and we're going to stop them from blowing it on ciggies and booze and gambling. Sounds reasonable, right? And in all honesty, there are cases where I can see it being a good idea. If a family dependent on welfare is getting nothing because of an irresponsible parent blowing the payments, then you want to step in those cases. But arbitrarily extending it to everyone, that's saying to people, you know, you're kind of less than human now that you're unemployed. You don't deserve rights. You don't deserve self-determination. We're going to pretty much tell you everything you can and can't do. For anyone who still believes the dole bludger or job snob lie, the statistics show that for every job advertised, there's at least 5 to 10 people looking for work. And it's better or worse depending on your age, qualifications, and where you live. So ignoring that reality with the absolute lie that these people are lazy and have got to be forced to do something to earn their keep, or we should just use them as fertilizer, you're literally just saying to people who are unemployed, you're fucked, okay? We are not only going to not help you, We are going to crush you and beat you down. All of these policies, they're just designed to punish and point out a scapegoat. It's sick and wrong, doesn't make any sense unless you simply enjoy being cruel. I think I have worked out what this government's end game is. The one area they haven't taken the chainsaw to, that they desperately want to, is industrial relations and workers' right. Abbott in particular wants to fuck over every gain workers and unions have made in, I don't know, the last 100 years. His idea of a perfect world is where an employer can do close to whatever they want. You have no protections, no benefits, and you can be sacked on a whim. You combine that with the world they're creating when being on the dole is close to a death sentence. You've got people who are going to be deadly scared of losing their job with no security, and the fear of being cast into the horrible pit that is now becoming the welfare system be so much that those in power who have always had everything they want will finally be able to treat everyone else like the filth they've always regarded us as.